Okay, so mic check. All right, on this live stream, we're going to work on Scorpio's reading, and we're going to look at Scorpio's connections starting in the first house, which is Aries house. All right, so let's see. I want to do a general reading and then look at the individual connections. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a general reading for Scorpio. Eight of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Justice, at the top of the deck is the Hangman, at the bottom of the deck is the Strength, and this is a stacked deck here that I'm using. So let's see. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Eight of Swords. Nine of Swords, please clarify the Three of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. And the Justice. The Hangman. So the Justice is on the bottom of the deck and the 13 major arcana is on the top. Wow. So this reading seems to be pointing to, well, it looks like some sort of dispute. Like there's a pending judgment, a pending outcome that is currently, this right here, the Three of Pentacles, I was wanting to see if it's obstructive interference or if it's a collaborative effort to improve a situation. The Eight of Pentacles clarifying the Three of Pentacles for me is a collaborative, it's a collaboration. So let's see, Three of Pentacles. Alright, yeah. So I'm curious about the Eight of Swords. Why is the Eight of Swords there? So far, like I said, these card positions have been clarified that there's this Three of Pentacles is to improve the situation. The collaboration is to improve it. So let's see. So we have our person here that's waiting. So now we have context why they're waiting. It looks like they're waiting for a judgment or a ruling. They're waiting for an outcome. There's a outcome that is pending. There's a decision that they're waiting for is what it looks like. Well, so now I just wanted to check on some general energy here and then to have a premise as I'm working through the connections to see what's going on. Alright, and so now that we have a general reading there, I'm just going to touch up on Scorpio's house, the 8th house, and what it governs, because it seems to have some house association, house application there. So I'm going to look in the 8th house to get a generalized overview of what is governed in the eighth house. So the eighth house, sex, money, and other equally important matters. The eighth house is the second of the three so-called mystical houses, or houses of endings. The others that it says the others are the fourth and the 12th house. So the fourth house is Cancer's house, the 12th house is Pisces, and of course the eighth house is Scorpio, and that's the house that we're in right now. And it says this house is about shared resources, and that includes everything from taxes, insurance, and business mergers to inheritances and marrying for money. The eighth house is also known as the house of death and regeneration because it is related to transformation and physical death and deals with transforming physical things back into energy. Okay, so there goes just a generalized breakdown of what is governed in the eighth house to get us some application as we're going through the connections with Scorpio to see what may be referred to. So I feel like too with that, that we've gone over and reviewed what the eighth house governs, that also explains why this general reading is in fact so generalized. Right? There's so many different applications that this could apply to. So it looks like there's an outcome that is pending, and we'll get more information as we go into the different houses. All right, so I just need a moment to pick up and restack this deck to prepare us to move into our first connection with Scorpio, which is going to be the first house, Aries house. In just a moment. Okay, so here we will be toggling through the connections, and this is Scorpio's card here. All right. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for the connection with Scorpio and Aries, the first house and the eighth house. Please put resonance in the deck. Okay, so we have the Ace of Swords, Three of Pentacles, and the Strength. Okay, the Justice and the Hermit are the energies on the top and bottom of the deck. Justice on top, Hermit on the bottom. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify these positions. Please clarify the Ace of Swords. Okay, Seven of Cups. Please clarify the Three of Pentacles. Okay, Nine of Pentacles. And please clarify the Strength. All right, the Ace of Fire. I'm still curious about the Three of Pentacles. I feel like I want more information there. But so far, the Seven of Cups clarifying the Ace of Swords, it's a clarifier for me to let me know that the Ace of Swords means that there's clarity, whereas the Seven of Cups is confusion or overwhelmness or uncertainty. Oh, okay. Also, I'm getting it now too. That the Seven of Cups is where there were options before. Yeah, where there's options before. So here's talking about Aries feeling clarity in regard to their options. So there's other potential loves that they're considering, but this is saying that Aries feels most comfortable with Scorpio, and this Strength card being clarified with the Ace of Fire. The Ace of Fire signifies going for it, you know, going into this connection, trying to work on the connection. The Strength, though, is representing holding back. So, holding back from going for it. But so far, this reading talks about that there is, you know, an attraction here. Okay, that Aries is finding attraction and compatibility with their connection with Scorpio. And it's like they're still in a bachelorette stage. There's still other options. It looks like likely for both Aries and Scorpio, so it's like they haven't quite made the connection official, but things are moving in a positive direction is what it looks like to me, but they're tempering it, not jumping into anything, not rushing anything. That's what I'm seeing here in this connection. Alright, so now we'll be able to move to our next connection with Scorpio, which is going to be Taurus, in just a moment. Yes, this is a collective reading. Hi everybody in the chat. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for interacting with me in the comment section. Yes, indeed, this is a collective reading. It is for Scorpio, so we're focusing on Scorpio's connections. We just did Aries, which is the first house, and we'll be moving to the second house, which is Taurus. In just a moment. All right. Okay, so let's get us a general for us. We already did the general. Okay, we're ready to get into this one. Dear Holy Spirit, please put resonance in the deck to give me a reading for Scorpio and Taurus's connection, the 8th and 2nd house. Ace of Swords, Justice, all right. So this is a clear reading. It looks like this is a positive reading. All right. There's surety here. There's focus here. There's balance here, reciprocity here. And this connection is moving to ascend to a higher level of commitment, or it's at least going to sustain the connection that is already established. So this is a clear reading for Scorpio and Taurus. This looks like a good, positive, equitable, and balanced connection here. So now we can move into our third house, which is Gemini's house. Alright. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Scorpio and Gemini, the 8th and 3rd house. Six of Swords, Three of Pentacles and Justice. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the three positions. Starting with the first position, please clarify the Six of Swords. Please clarify the Three of Pentacles. Please clarify the Justice. Well, this connection right here at the moment suggests that I was looking to see if these Three of Pentacles are obstructive interference or if it's an effort to improve the conditions, to collaborate together. The Ten of Fire clarifies it to me that it's obstructive interference, that it's toxic. Things are coming to a breaking point. Now, there's still room here for more elaboration because there could be a breaking point as far as dropping one of the dropping the obstructive interference, for example, if it's a third-party situation, cutting that out and becoming more focused in this connection. Or there's also a chance of the obstructive interference continuing and then releasing the connection, breaking up in the connection, and moving out of it, you know. So there's still room to elaborate and to expound upon the reading, but for sure what is being described is that our Gemini, especially, as you know, this reading is designed to isolate our connections energy. This one right here would be expressed in this case as Gemini moving out of a toxic situation into a better situation. So, and not being able to find the peace here in this connection. So letting it go or deciding to work on it is what's in question. So that's what I'm seeing so far for Scorpio and Gemini's connection. It's like, should I stay here and work, or should I continue moving? I think we'll continue to move, and then once we go through the 12 houses, we can come back if we want to or if we need to. But most importantly, I definitely wanted to come and check the connections in the houses, because there was a lot going on every time I went into Scorpio's house. However, it does seem like, because I've been wanting to look at this house for a couple of days at least, I'm starting to see the dust settle and more calm in the atmosphere when I read it, almost as if the most intense part of whatever conflict I was detecting has come to a resting place. It's started to settle down. So that's why I'm inclined to keep going and just to look and see where I'm noticing some subtle energy or more intense, and just see what I can see basically. And then you guys might see the same cards coming out, or similar cards coming out. And if you're just stopping by, hey, thanks for stopping by, guys. Greetings. Welcome. It's because we've already done a general reading. And so the cards that are coming out with a similar energy is referring back to that general reading we did. So now we'll go ahead and move to our 4th house, which is Cancer's house. And that will be giving us a look at Scorpio and Cancer's connection. Let's see. Dear Holy Spirit, please put resonance in the deck to give me a reading for Scorpio and Cancer's connection. Seven of Swords. Three of Pentacles. And the Wheel of Fortune. with the Justice and Hermit on the top and bottom of the deck. Justice on the top, the Hermit on the bottom. So what we're looking at here is we're coming into the reading with some distrust and the Seven of Swords. It looks like there's the Three of Pentacles, so that could either be a collaboration for improvement and optimizing a situation, or it could be obstructive. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which I described as the spin cycle. But off the top, it looks like, based on what Cancer finds out. And now here, there could be mutual energy here on this table. Like I said, it's designed to isolate this position's energy, which would be Cancer in this case. However, sometimes there's mutual energy, and that points to a connection that's a soulmate, twin flame. But anyhow, it looks like depending on what is discovered here with this Seven of Sword energy, causes some turmoil. This Seven of Sword energy could also be the energy that's causing the obstruction in the Three of Pentacles, such as a third-party situation. So let's clarify and get more information. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Seven of Swords. Why is the Seven of Swords here? It's being clarified by the Ten of Swords. Why is the Three of Pentacles here? Nine of Pentacles. And why is the Wheel of Fortune? Alright. Yeah. So here, these clarifiers let me know that this Seven of Sword energy found out about this. So the Three of Pentacles here is not being, this is not being described as obstructive. This is described as collaborative. If this is working for Scorpio. Okay, so if I'm reading this energy as Cancer's energy on the table and their connection with the Scorpio, this would say that Cancer comes into this connection discovering something amiss. And this right here, the Ten of Swords clarifying the Seven of Swords, is devastation based on what they find out, that there is a third party situation, but this third party works for Scorpio. And then the Wheel of Fortune talks about, it points back to the devastation of the realization that this is happening. And so this also, this reading has a high probability that Cancer found this out, realized it, and I don't see that they're confronting Scorpio about it. It looks like they're more going inside to heal themselves and to settle, to sit with and digest what they just discovered and found out. Like they're processing that internally. They're healing themselves and getting balanced within themselves. I don't see that they're confronting their person about it, but they are disappointed and devastated, as described. And that's what I'm seeing here, and the connection with Scorpio and Cancer. So we will move now to the 5th house, which is Leo, in just a moment. Okay. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Scorpio and Leo. All right. Okay, so I'm getting a clear, positive reading here for Scorpio and Leo with the clarity coming on the stage with the Ace of Swords, the Seven of Fire, and generally looking at that I describe it as our person standing on their square at a position of leverage. In a romance reading, it's leaning towards a bachelor and/or a bachelorette, an open relationship, for an example, no commitment at the moment. And then this magician energy, generally speaking, talks about things coming into alignment, um, divine timing, and like if there's ever a time to find Mr. or Mrs. Right, it's right now. It's one of the definitions in a love reading for the magician. So again, that explains how I'm seeing clear energy. It feels to be compatible and mutual, like it's something that works for both. And then just to get more information here, and to confirm or to get a different storyline, especially because there are multiple definition possibilities, I'll go ahead and clarify these positions. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Ace of Swords. And then also, though, guys, I would like to put a pin in the reading that I already did, because that is a complete reading. The additional information can change or alter the interpretation for a different reading, but the one I just did is a final reading. So let's see, the Ace of Swords, please. Okay. The Ace of Swords is being clarified by the Eight of Swords, the Seven of Fire. Alright, Three of Pentacles are here. And the Magician. Okay, the Magician is being clarified by the Magician. Alright, so I feel like this is definitely a confirmation. It's a reiteration, literally saying the same thing that I just said in the clarifying form. And the only thing that's, I feel that is an elaboration, additional information, is this Ace of Swords is being clarified by the Eight of Swords. So still with the clarity that I mentioned in the beginning, but it's also letting me know that there are feelings here in the Eight of Swords. There's feelings here. There's like a sense of commitment here. Yeah, but they're choosing. It's like, they're choosing to be in this connection. The words that came to my mind are like the beginning of a song, or is it a beginning, a section of a song that goes, captivated. And then I forgot the rest of it. Talking about captivated, but because they want to be in this situation, like they're locked in, but it's by choice, totally by choice. No longer, yeah, something like captivated, no longer bound by fear, something like that. Anyways, forgive me. This clarifies this bachelorette energy as I described it with the Three of Pentacles, saying that it is an open relationship type energy, that they're exploring their options, but it's not a problem. It feels like something that they're probably both doing. And also, Yeah, I was gonna say this Three of Pentacles could be not just like a third party situations or other significant people in a romantic sense, but just whatever that they are entertained doing. Uh, Anyhow, it's not obstructive interference is what's being stated. It's not being seen as obstructive. And then when a card is clarified by itself, that just confirms with me that it is what I said that it is there for. Okay, so thank you for your patience. I'm going to restack the deck and prepare us to move into our next house, which is going to be Virgo. Okay, and while handling the deck, I got a little additional information for some storylines. Not all, but there's a hint that for some of the storylines, it took a lot of work to get to this place. Like this didn't just happen overnight for some scenarios. It's something that they've worked to achieve this type of level of trust, you know, and maybe even not necessarily that they've worked hard to achieve this in this particular connection, but in their own personal life. Something about their journeys have made it possible for them to enjoy a connection as free and as trusting and as loving, as dynamic, as flowing as that one. So here we go. Looking in the 6th house, which is Virgo's house. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Scorpio and Virgo connection. Okay, so we have the 3 of Fire at the top of the deck and the Ace of Fire on the bottom of the deck. So what I'm seeing off the top is that there are feelings for one another in this reading, especially Virgo, seeing how this is Virgo's energy, and there would only be mutual energy if it's a twin flame connection. So yeah, it says that there are feelings that Virgo has for their Scorpio of interest. And it also looks like, however, they feel that there's probably other people that Scorpio is entertaining, and or Scorpio has other things that are going on that doesn't really fit too well with Virgo's, with the Virgo. So it looks like there is distance. Literally, like this 3 of Pentacles is definitely looking like it repels the two from coming together. So that clearly is obstructive interference, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a third-party situation, but it likely is other people. And not necessarily like other people that only Scorpio is dealing with, but other people that Virgo could be dealing with. And also life itself. Just something is obstructive, keeping them from coming together. And then I feel like that in of itself is clarified by seeing the distance here, and that there is an attraction here. But then we see the obstructive interference there. Just out of curiosity, I'm interested to see how these cards card positions would be clarified, just to look. So let's see. But that translation is one complete translation. I'll put a pin in that and see what else could be said. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is being clarified by itself. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Three of Pentacles. Okay, the Nine of Fire. And please clarify the Two of Fire. Two of Fire is being clarified by the Magician. Alright, so for me, that's a clarifier that reiterates what has already been stated. The Eight of Swords being clarified with its own card says it is what I said it is. The Three of Pentacles being clarified with the Nine of Fire, for me, is not only a reiteration of what I said, it being obstructive interference, but it gives additional information that there's some boundaries or standards that this Three of Pentacles interferes with. There's like some deal breakers that at this point they're not willing to compromise to change. It even seems like it is what it is. I'm not seeing indication that it's something they've talked about, but there's some sort of understanding. And then this Magician, I feel like it clarifies to restate what I said. However, there's some additional information with the potential that in the future, this could be something that they could work out together. It looks like there's timing, however, that's the issue. Some things are out of alignment, some things are out of timing. So, alright, that's what that looks like. I just need a moment to restack the deck and prepare us to move into our next connection with Scorpio, which is going to be Libra. Okay. All right. Libra, the 7th house. Scorpio, the 8th house. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a clarifier. Oh, please give me a reading. Please put resonance in the deck for Scorpio and Libra connection, the 8th and 7th house connection. Ace of Swords. Three of Pentacles. And the Moon. And remember, these similar cards come out because we've already done a general reading, so there's some resonance to expound upon the general reading that was already done. So let's see. Alright, so here feels like there's a connection. Okay, like Libra is feeling Scorpio. However, with this Three of Pentacles here, as far as it becoming something that progresses more seriously, looks like that's unknown. So it feels like, again, like there is a connection, there's a likability in this connection, like it works, but there's something, this appears to be obstructive because it's leading to the moon. There's leading to the moon. So, which is, you know, unknown. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Ace of Swords, okay, it's being clarified with the Nine of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, okay, Five of Pentacles is clarifying the Three of Pentacles, and the Moon, okay, the Temperance. All right, so the first reading, I would put a pin on that, a pin in it to complete that reading. And this here elaborates to expound upon, giving additional information. So I feel like I'm still looking at Libra feeling Scorpio. This added information, however, suggests that there is a strong desire actually to be with Scorpio. Libra wants to be with Scorpio, and this Three of Pentacles being clarified by the Five of Pentacles lets me know that the Three of Pentacles is obstructive, but not necessarily like in an offensive way to Libra, but Libra feels left out. Like, so it could be things that Scorpio has going on in their life that's not necessarily like a deal breaker. It doesn't look like it's a deal breaker for Libra, but they feel like they're left out, like they can't spend enough time, the time that they want with their person. And so this moon here, I feel like it is being described as uncertainty about where this connection can go. What the potential of the connection in the future is uncertain. But there's some patience. It feels like there's things that may be out of timing with the Temperance clarifying that, you know, like maybe later in the future. And it also lets me know, I feel like that this connection will continue to be moving forward and into the future as it is, but it's still gonna be unknown about the potential of where it's going to go as far as something they can build on for long term. But it seems that also there's indication that there's a lack of timing, like it's not in alignment at the time. The Alchemist, the Temperance is what is the major arcana that blends energies together that don't normally mix well, blend elements together that don't normally mix well, like hot and cold, wet and dry. And that's what I have for Scorpio in the 7th house. And it looks like there's love in this connection. Okay, so now looking at Scorpios with other Scorpios. Dear Holy Spirit, please. And thank you so much for your support on the video and on the channel. Please put resonance in the deck to give me a reading for Scorpio with other Scorpios. The deck wanted to fall apart like that. The Justice, the Ten of Swords. I'm just going to look at it. So, and then Scorpio with other Scorpios, this would be supposedly the Scorpio watching the video, and then your person of interest, your Scorpio energy laid out there on the table. So let me see here. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Justice. Please clarify the Ten of Swords. Please clarify the Apprentice. Alright, so it looks like something is unfair in this connection. Your person feels like something is unfair. It's out of balance. It's not working. It's offensive. It's dead. It's repetitive, and they're freeing themselves from the connection. So I just wanted to look there and see what that is. But the spread and that reading came out so fast that I'm going to look for another one. I'm going to pull more cards, but I just wanted to look at this one and see what it was talking about. So that's one reading. I put a pin in that one, and then we'll look for other interpretations. Look for another reading, I mean. Let's see. Alright, dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Scorpio with other Scorpios. Okay, Eight of Swords. Three of Pentacles. And the Ace of Fire. Alright. So let's see here. I'm going to look for some clarifiers here. But so far off the top, it looks like your Scorpio is feeling you, Scorpio. I want to look at the Three of Pentacles to get additional information to see if it's obstructive or to see if it's energies to collaborate and improve the situation. But it does look like it's progressing into a new chapter of a new start. It looks like the new start is, it looks like a good start. Could even be a reconciliation there, or just moving it into a new dynamic, a new dynamic in your connection. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Eight of Swords. Okay, Nine of Swords, the Three of Pentacles. Okay, Nine of Fire, and the Ace of Fire. Alright, the Magician. So this is leaning more towards the likelihood of a reconciliation, because this Three of Pentacles has been described as obstructive. There's some boundary crossing taking place there, some sort of a deal breaker. So it looks like this is a connection that comes into the reading as one that's been going on for a while, because we're looking at your person locked in and they're under a duress. They don't want to let go of the connection, but there's some boundary crossing. So here's where it looks like there is a likelihood for reconciliation and an attempt to come back together. I was going to say to work on that. So it looks like with that being stated, the Three of Pentacles is being translated and clarified to talk about boundary crossing, but also with the hope to improve the situation or to work on that, is what it looks like. Alright. Okay. So that's what I have there. Okay, now we'll look at Scorpio and Sagittarius connections in just a moment. Thank you for your patience. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Scorpio and Sagittarius. Eight of Swords. Three of Pentacles. Ace of Fire. Looks almost identical to Scorpio and Scorpio connection, so there could be some cusp energy. It's not required with a Scorpio Sagittarius cusp, but this is Sagittarius and Scorpio. Let's clarify to see if it's exactly the same or if there's a little difference. But it looks like Sagittarius is locked in this connection. They have feelings for Scorpio. There's the Three of Pentacles. I'm not sure if it's obstructive interference or a collaboration to improve the situation. And it looks like there's a likelihood for a reconciliation, a new start in the connection. So let's see. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Eight of Swords. Okay, Nine of Swords. The Three of Pentacles, please. Okay, Page of Fire. And the Ace of Fire. Alright, the Hangman. So this Three of Pentacles being clarified by the Page of Fire, which is Sagittarius's energy, it points me to the obstructive interference potentially being Scorpio having an offense for some way that Sagittarius is behaving in the connection. And again, for this new start, to me, it also suggests that this is a dynamic that the connection is experiencing, but I'm not detecting a breakup. It looks like it's moving forward in this way, but there's just maybe some frustration in the connection, the dynamic of the connection, but it doesn't look like it's breaking up. It actually says it's sustained with this new start. With this Ace of Fire, that it continues in the trajectory into the future. And the Hangman suggests that they grow together, that they continue to weather the storms together, the storms of life, and their connection. They're hanging tough with it. That's what it says. I'm curious to see what but to get additional information, if this was to resonate, I would need to get into Sagittarius's reading and do this for Sagittarius and Scorpio. That's what I have so far. So we'll move into our next reading, which will be looking at Scorpio and Capricorn's energies, their connection. Okay, let's see. Thank you, God. Okay. Capricorn, the 10th house. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Capricorn and Scorpio connection, the 10th and 8th house connection. Okay, Two of Swords. Knight of Fire. and the Justice. All right. So this reading is looking like it could have potentially been the one that got away, but they go back. Your person and or you work for this connection and get it off the ground. And it looks like it's headed into an equitable, uh, healthy relationship. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify. And I want to clarify the Two of Swords. I'm looking at the Seven of Cups. I'm looking at the Knight of Pentacles and the Six of Fire. Again, the one that could have got away, but the person realizes you're special. They don't want you to get away. But I seen all that while trying to restack the deck. So let's take a look. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Two of Swords. Okay. Nine of Swords. Four of Pentacles. Five of Fire. The Magician. Okay, so far it looks like there's some sort of annoyance or agitation in the connection. So it looks like this could have been an ultimatum or a need to compromise something that was agitating Capricorn. And unless it's the case where there's mutual energy, and when I say Capricorn, it could be Scorpio. But so we're looking at somebody that's holding their ground about some sense of a deal breaker. Okay, and so that's giving more context about why I'm seeing the Knight of Fire come over here. Let's get it clarified there. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Knight of Fire. So I'm seeing the Eight of Pentacles, wanting to work on that. Yeah, seeing the Five of Fire, that was the arguing. Seeing the Magician again. So feeling like this is the perfect time. Your person realizes that you're the connection they want to work for, to fight for. Let me see now that we're at the top again. Is there anything else? Please, dear Holy Spirit, clarify the Knight of Fire. Okay, seeing the Nine of Swords. Seeing the Three of Pentacles. The Temperance. Seven of Cups. Three of Swords. Okay, so here I'm getting additional information. It looks like the agitation has to do with obstructive interference, third-party situations, having an open relationship, Capricorn exploring their options, and that even explains and gives more context to why I was seeing that they found out. They realized this is the one that could get away, because when they go through their inventory of all the options and all the other love interests they could potentially have, they find this one is the one that they want to tap into. They realize that there's a heartbreak, and it feels like there is mutual energy here, because we've seen a lot of similar cards, even in the annoyance and the agitation, almost like, okay, I'm reading it, making it sound a lot more easier than it actually is, because it looks like there's mutual agitation and frustration, and there literally is work to be done, but they're doing the work to try to get your attention back, to try to get your connection back. It looks like the connection is fragile, you know, but the love is stronger, is what it looks like, with this being the Lover's card there. And here goes the love offer, trying to get your attention, trying to win you back. Here goes the Knight of Pentacles. It looks like that's the ultimatum and the demand, you know, to have a serious relationship, not that bachelor relationship, that open relationship. And so here goes Scorpio's energy. It's the Death card, the 13th major arcana, and a new chapter. So it looks like the purging and the compromising is taking place to come together on the same page. So let's move forward, because there's an effort to come out of the code. There's an effort to win you over and to fight for your connection. Let's see what the Justice says when it's clarified. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Justice. All right, so we're seeing the Ace of Cups. That looks like a sense of success there. Please continue. Okay, there goes the Knight of Pentacles, another indication of success, moving that connection to a higher level of commitment and coming to compromise. The Seven of Fire is making an appearance there too, so it looks like there could be multiple outcomes. But I'm going to put a pin in the one that says your person compromises and works for your connection. So here, look at there. This is revealing. This is the other woman. It's all gender specific. It's all, I was going to say, it's all energy specific, not gender specific. However, we are seeing feminine energy on the table. This is like the other woman, the main woman. This is the marriage. And this is the hangman. See, so this is a confirmation that there is a storyline here where your person is putting their foot down, not wanting a casual relationship, not wanting an open relationship. They want a relationship that has the intentions to move to marriage and to move to monogamy, to be serious, and to cut out the other woman with that 13 major arcana. This is a purge, removing the other woman is what it looks like. So making the connection more conducive for your marriage. So that is one clear interpretation in the reading that's been made. We could put a pin in that one. There's also the Seven of Fire here that's coming up too. So that's the Bachelor, Bachelorette energy. And let's clarify that to see if it's indeed the reason it's on the table. Hold on. I'm going to use this deck right here to pull out the Seven of Fire to clarify why it's on the table. Generally, I describe it as the Court standing on their square at a position of leverage. In a love reading, though, it is the Bachelor and or the Bachelorette. So because there's dual interpretations, I want to clarify, see why it's on the table, see what else can be said about it or seen about it. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify why the Seven of Fire is clarifying the Justice. Please clarify the Seven of Fire. Alright, so I'm reminded to get back and stack the deck there, but seeing the Seven of Cups and the Ten of Swords, the Ten of Fire. Alright, so that's letting me know that this card is here talking about standing on their square at a position of leverage, reminding me overall I was seeing that there's, if I was to title it, it would be the one that almost got away, realizing, you know, I'm better with you than without you in this connection. It looks like as our person of interest pulled their energy back, this would technically say Capricorn pulled their energy back and Scorpio's not feeling so good without them. They're missing them. Need the stability that they provided in the connection. But let's see what else. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Seven of Fire. Okay, Nine of Swords. Ten of Fire. Hangman. Alright, so I feel like that's a confirmation to talk about, yeah, getting knocked off their square, feeling out of sorts without this connection there. And that's what I'm getting for Scorpio and the 10th house Capricorn reading. I'm going to restock this deck and then we'll be able to move to look at Scorpio with Aquarius in just a moment. Thank you for your patience. And thank you for your support on the video and on the channel. Hi everybody. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, so Aquarius governs the 11th house. So we're looking at Scorpio, which governs the 8th house. And Aquarius connections. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Aquarius and Scorpio. Well, I'm reminded to stack the deck. So there could be some Capricorn Aquarius cusps in the audience, that this is Aquarius's reading with Scorpio. Alright, here we go. Dear Holy Spirit, please put resonance in the deck to give me a reading for Scorpio and Aquarius's connection. Okay, the Three of Swords. Five of Fire. Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So we're coming here, it looks like on the stage, there's an offense that was made with the Three of Swords, a feeling of backstabbing, some heartache, you know, maybe some betrayal. There's a disappointment here, ache, a heartache, and a fight. And it's disturbing, unsettling, a blur. So I'm picking up some dissonance in this connection at the moment. Let's see. Such a blur caused such a disturbance that someone is needing to withdraw to heal themselves. Now, technically, this is Aquarius's energy on the table, and it's mutual in the case of twin flame soulmate connection. I do feel mutual energy here, but let's see what's going on. So, dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Three of Swords. Knight of Swords, please clarify the Five of Fire. Six of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. The World. Alright. So yes, I do feel like the first interpretation is, that's one complete reading. We could put a pin in that first interpretation of the reading, talking about there was an offense that was made, an argument, and it just, the whole thing is amiss, and it's disorienting it, and so much that you both, or at least one of you, has had to withdraw, kind of pull back, basically pull your energy back to maintain and to heal. The additional information here, first off, is talking about a desire to want to go back and try to heal the connection, to want to go back and salvage, to make it right. That is one clear thing that is being stated, because it looks like there is, the energy is moving the connection to like move out of the connection, to, it looks like there's like a force trying to move you out of the connection. But instead of being moved out of the connection, it feels like there's minor arcanas which are within one's own free will and choice to go back to try to salvage and to make it right. And especially by reaching out and trying to communicate with Scorpio. It looks like again, that would be Aquarius's energy, but it could go either way. Trying to reach back out to Scorpio and communicate. They try to, you know, make amends, or, you know, try to fix the arguing. Now this Five of Fire is, usually it talks about arguing or a fight, but sometimes there's another type of obstruction that this could cause, like distance in of itself, or maybe some other interference that caused the distance between the two of you. You know, it could be something as ordinary as just some sort of wrench thrown in a plan, you know? So let's see. I feel like this is a connection where I'm picking up some dissonance, definitely worthy to expound upon it and spend more time here, but most of all, I wanted to look through the houses and see where I'm picking up any dissonance, any interference here. So this is one house, and I'll want to make a note of that and continue to look into our next house so I don't run out of energy. That will be the 12th house, which is Pisces house. I'll be back to work on that in just a moment. Thank you for your patience. Here we go. All right. So let's look in the 12th house here, which is Pisces house, and the 8th house here, which is Scorpio's house. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading. Please put resonance in the deck to give me a reading for Scorpio and Pisces, the 12th and 8th house connection. Ace of Swords. Okay, have a section of multiple card combinations for the second position, which represent more present energy in the reading. So let's see here. So the question is whether or not to get more serious in this connection, to raise it to a higher level of commitment. There is attraction and compatibility. Feels like Pisces definitely is feeling the energy, feeling the connection here. Now there could be mutual energy where Scorpio is also feeling it too. But when it comes to raising it to a higher level of commitment, there's a pause. There's it feels like an ultimatum. And that's what's being represented right there. Dear Holy Spirit, can you consolidate this placement with one single card, or is there anything else? The Nine of Swords. And to show you guys what that looks like, right? So we're looking at the surrounding energy of the King of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, not wanting to overextend, not, wanting to leap into ... The ... are these card combinations because it was sandwiched between the King of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. And here it looks like wanting to move forward with the Page of Fire, but not being able to because of the Two of Swords here, which looks like an ultimatum. It's a crossroad, okay? And so sandwiched between this are these card combinations. So when you look at it, here's forward movement with the King and Queen of Fire. We're looking at this question of whether or not we're going to move this connection to a higher level of commitment, going back and forth with the idea, toggling between having an open relationship and or other options that are being juggled there. So that's where the impasse is coming from. So as I'm looking to consolidate that with one single card or fewer cards, I'm seeing the Nine of Swords. So we'll continue to clarify and see what else, if anything. Dear Holy Spirit, please continue. There's even more, right? There's even more cards, right? I'm looking to consolidate it, but I'm getting more information here. So it's almost as if those are I don't know. I was gonna say those are the cards I should take and keep looking, because I am just only looking for one more card to complete this spread. But here, the additional information here is saying that this connection, even though there's an ultimatum being presented and there's the question of moving the connection to a higher level of commitment as described, Pisces is locked in. Pisces doesn't want to let go of this connection. Okay, they feel at home with this connection. This is the connection that they want to work. They want to work it out. So they're even stressed out, almost like stressed out that they even presented or asked the question in a way, because there's like this fear of letting the connection go, of getting rejected and all of that. But let's see here what is sandwiched between. So there's the Ten of Fire, the breaking point, the moving on. Okay, then coming back and reconciling, and here it looks like there's the Ace of Pentacles again, toggling between the idea of moving into a higher level of commitment, but then going back to a third party situation, then pulling back the energy, feeling alone again in this connection, waiting around, hoping that it comes back, again, hoping that it comes back, again, hoping to work on the connection, and even doing things to try to work on the connection. So it looks like it's created this impasse, this cipher, this cycle of the on and off again, and it's very toxic and painful, because this is the connection that Pisces does want to be in. So they feel like what is that when you, oh, deleveraged, like gave their power in a way, because they didn't want to leave. They didn't want the connection to turn out like that. Let's see. So to consolidate, let's just keep going, because I didn't consolidate. We got a reiteration, a repeat, and expounded on the situation. So I'll keep going. Thank you, dear Holy Spirit. Please, may I have the third position? Okay, the Nine of Swords. All right. So that's frustration because of the dynamic of the connection. And they want this connection to work, but they also want it to become more serious. And it feels like they can't easily let go. And that's what I have, guys. And that brings us to the last house there for Scorpio, going through the 12 houses. So I just want to thank you so much for your support on the channel. Thank you for your support on the video. And I don't have enough energy to do personal readings or to answer the questions in the chat, but thank you for the opportunity. Okay, thank you guys for the opportunity. And then for who am I talking about? So if you guys pop in and you wonder where I'm working at, it's going to be this information here. So this deck will talk about the house that I'm working in. In this case, it's Scorpio's house. And then this will talk about the connection that I'm working in. So Scorpio governs the 8th house. So for example, if I have 8 there, then that will let you know I'm working in Scorpio's energy there. Or if I'm toggling through other signs here, that's the first house. Second, so the first house is Aries, second house is Taurus, third house is Gemini, the fourth house is Cancer, fifth house is Leo, the sixth house is Virgo, the seventh house is Libra, and then we have Scorpio for the 8th house, Sagittarius, the 9th house, Capricorn, the 10th house, Aquarius, the 11th house, and Pisces, the 12th house. And so this deck here will let you know if I'm working on connections and reading for a sign, which connection I'm on, and I'm working on it. Okay? Otherwise, again, you'll know which sign I'm working on here. For example, if you're not really able to tell which card this is, it says Scorpio there, but you might not be able to see that from your perspective. Then I also like to put the number here so you can tell that way. All right, that's a good question. Thank you so much. Okay, guys. Signing off for now. I'll be back to do another as soon as possible. Until next time, peace.